last week, for those who were not here, to do close issues on Codeplex done, close PR on Codeplex done, finish from import still to do. Let me create a new tab. It's the 5/5/2015. So forums import ongoing. Then status on the code, roadmap update. We did update the roadmap, and I updated it this morning with the release note. Release. This was the merge, the branch plan, all the merges which were done, and what branches will be created after this release. And as a summary, there will be a dev branch, which is the current one, .x. There will be a 19x, which will be scheduled release every month or so. Dev branch will be the next feature. Yeah, feature-driven release containing the new features. Scheduled release, improvements and bug fixes. Not breaking, nothing breaking here. So there will be two major branches. Okay. And this guy is handled by Nick so far, and there is no release date. It's ongoing progress. So, going back there, Orchard, this one, if you click on releases, you will find that. They are tagged as pre-release, just for you to test them. The main committers had access to that and were able to try it. Hello? What?
Are you sharing? Yeah.
I am. You have to click on the accept sharing. Yeah.
I don't see it. Sorry.
You can reconnect maybe. So on the releases tabs, so 182, I also tagged the commit with the tag 182, which is driving this source code download link. Same thing for 192. It's also driving this source code download link. This one is an additional zip file which contains the web-only version. That is the gallery one, so you can directly point IS to this folder and it will just work. It's a precompiled release. I have changed the issues by, if you look at the milestone 182, they are closed. Well, all the bugs which were closed on 18x have been assigned to 182. Okay, so now it's frozen release. Same thing for 1.x, which has been assigned to 1.9. If there is still one open, this one will be assigned, will be kept into 1.x or dev, the next branch. So the bugs have been retriaged. Actually, the closed bugs have been retriaged, but not the open bugs yet. It will be done soon after the new branches are available, which I still need to do. There are some release notes. I got a surprise this morning, but that was fine. So release notes for each release here. I have created the release notes. So for 182, it's on documentation, then it's available. Please foolproof by text, because I'm sure I forgot to change some 181 to 182, and I might have done some mistakes, so please fix it if you find it. I updated the contributors list. This is the most difficult part, actually. I have to go through every commit and check who owns the commit, and then from the username or the email, find out who the guy is and their name. Sometimes I don't have their name. QT1 JC J Castillo Pino. I sent some emails and I'm waiting for answers to that. So this is the contributors for 182. If I'm forgetting you, please mention it. Specifically Bertrand. I don't think you participated in 182 in any way. That's weird. But 1.9 you did.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to 1.9 containing lots of everything for 182, so it's just duplicate plus new people. Yes, some names I didn't know actually, like maybe I know them by their, I don't know, not this one. Dennis Basic was a known. I discovered one, Wojciech Gadzinski. No, not this. Oh, this is a mistake actually here. This is a mistake. Oh, this is a wrong copy paste. I will fix it because this is. Well, I will fix it and you will see. I was wondering what this guy was, and okay, so new ones. Stanley has left, but he still impacted the project. So why? Yeah, Dane Kaplan is new. I found another one. Where is that? Mark Loveland Armor. Matt Barber, also new committers. Even Nick contributed to this release, which is awesome. It doesn't happen every time. So same thing, please check typos. Oh, and this one is not updated actually. Interesting. Yes, so some notes. So the surprise was that I created a file, and actually there was already a file with a kind of subtly different names. So this was written by Zoltan and Bertrand about upgrading modules. You need to be aware that you need to move them to 4.5.1, your modules if you're using 1.9. This is a note from Zoltan about the way the password hashes are upgraded, and also how the setup recipes are found. So some nice notes. I also, yes, there's a link to go directly to the closed bugs assigned to a specific release, like we did before. So this is not new, but this is new on GitHub. I've added that, not to the roadmap, but to the list of. So I took the list of new features from the roadmap, and I've added that we forgot from the roadmap. So now I will be able to delete it from the roadmap. That's it. Yeah. Any question on that? On this release? Am I missing something? Yes, I am missing something. The web app gallery will be updated soon. I will send the request to the team, and usually it takes 1 week. I know they do some testing on Fridays, so at least not before Friday.
One thing, Sebastian, I saw that we mentioned the update to the .NET Framework 4.5.1. Should we also mention the upgrade to Azure SDK 2.6, you think?
Does it impact customers?
Well, in the sense that they have to have that version of the SDK installed, I guess. And also, if they have any custom modules that depend on those binaries, that would also impact them.
Okay. Can you do it?
Excuse me?
Can you do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You add a little paragraph like this on 1.9.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to change the file name because I see here we used to use dashes everywhere, and I use the dot, and the dot is not replaced in the title. Maybe we should fix this in the title management. I don't know. Or replace the dot by dashes. Dashes, but yeah. I don't know. Maybe we need to think about the title generation here. Okay, good. So Daniel tried the 1.9, found some bugs and fixed it on 1.9 int. This is what we can see. If I open Git extensions, but I can't find. So, oh, it's there. Beautiful. So Daniel fixed missing assembly redirects for Azure. And this is what triggered the release. We see 1.9. Also now, at last, if I go to TeamCity. So for those who were there on Thursday, you remember I was blocked on the nightly builds, which will not take the latest code. And Sipke found that I was pointing to the Codeplex repository, which explained everything. And you know what? I still fought on this thing for 2 more days with another nightly build and actually changed the continuous build, or maybe I didn't save the fix that Sipke you found, and it was still pointing to Codeplex. So I was really angry at myself. But now it's fixed, and it fixed everything. Continuous build and nightly builds, everything was beautiful. You see, everything is green. Wow. I didn't even have to cheat about it. So everything works again. And this is where you can get, as a reminder, all the artifacts for every build. Okay. Okay, good. No questions? Everything's perfect. If I forgot your name in the release notes, please let me know. It's unintentional. I might have missed your names. I'm looking here, Eric. I know I have you because I don't have your Codeplex link. Philip, I don't have you, and this is weird. Or maybe you didn't do anything on this release. And Jasmin, I don't have you either, which is also weird because you participate a lot, or maybe just since we are on GitHub. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Jasmin, for stopping by, because we have some demos. One from, Jasmine, because we are talking English. Jasmine, as known as Script. Any other demo? Sipke, any demo today? I saw something.
Am I unmuted? Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, there's a small topic I'd like to show and gather some feedback. It's a small new feature.
Okay. Who else has a demo? Nobody. That's fine. So that status. What else? Release. Pre-release available. So I will wait 1 day and make the public announcement once I have confirmation that it works for you. There is no major issue. Worst case, we can also ship a 1.9x. That's fine. Pre-release available.
You wrote something about forums at the first line.
Yep.
Did you discuss it?
Just saying it's ongoing. I think you're waiting for me.
I am.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure you know that.
I have 2 things for you to do.
Okay.
That I know. Maybe no budget, yeah. Also. Status for the last 7 days. Deployment branch for Bertrand. What branch is that? It's in no branch. It's not in 1.9 int. That's why script not mentioned. So this fixed adding workflow definition name string empty validation. I think it was a pull request. Yes, bulk options in the workflow. But because I'm seeing it right now, Sipke, can you please not use the stars in the commit messages? I know it's nice in GitHub, but it's not nice in the Git history.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you. Added call to init helpers. Oh, now I know. I was looking for a bug in Codeplex 5.1.1 something, and it's actually in GitHub. That makes sense now.
Just rolling between a single image now. I know we calculated the other size with all the different 360s.
Added call to init helpers. Okay.
Yeah, that enables HTML helper in Razor templates.
Just that.
Mm-hmm.
Which branch?
And also it helps, now you can use things like script.foot, for example, in your template.
What, just that one line?
Yeah, because the HTML property wasn't initialized, and this line initializes the HTML property. And I'm assuming more such helpers.
Yes, I think you pushed it to 1.x. So you have, since last week, a reflex to push it to 1.x, which is fine for some
just
things.
1x. Mm-hmm.
But you can also push it for 1.8x as of today also. The issue is that 1.x, because it's 1.x, it's new features. So it will go in the dev branch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If it was in 1.8.x as of today, because we have an integration branch and is closed, locked down, then it will go in the 1.9x branch after for the short cycle.
Okay.
So you can wait. We can cherry pick them after when I have created the 1.9x if you want to be sure. But if it's fixed, it goes in 1.8x now. Okay. Unless it depends. Well, you can also wait and we'll cherry pick it. Search from path driver import export. Okay. These kind of things, they will be shippable by next month in 1.9.1. This is me fixing the spec flow test. Fixing CI, which actually was not failing. I thought that the failure was because this was not recognized on the CI machine, so I used a more common one. And actually it was not the case, it was just me pointing to Codeplex. Added your refer safety check. Yes, as requested last week. Thank you. Menu part to form content, blah, blah, blah. Okay. At the same time, I was thinking about removing it from pages because it causes some issues to users. So the menu part this way will, it's already in the page content type, so you can define a menu item from the page itself. But with that, the page itself becomes the menu item. And when people try to delete the menu item, they actually delete the page.
Oh, yeah.
So
I remember that.
We did that 2 versions ago for backward compatibility reasons when we redefined the navigation module. I'm thinking that we might want to remove it in the next version by default for new setup and encourage people to use just how it's called, custom links instead. Or maybe change that to create a custom link and not assign it as the menu item because it's very dangerous. And it's also making things slow. If Zoltan was here, he will say, totally agree. Can you confirm?
I'm here.
Oh, he's here. Where is he? I can't find him. You see? I know you. Because it's painful. Yep.
By the way, there's a related issue about caching menus, because menus, as you all know, are quite slow if you use anything else than custom links. Do we want to work on that? Because there is a module for that actually. But do we want to work on incorporating that into the core or a similar solution, or let's keep the menu as it is and we will have something completely different?
Well, last time we talked about it, we said let's keep it as it is because we have output cache, which does that by default. And if we do it also for navigation, there are then 2 layers of cache for that. Might be hard. And also, well, at least it could be a feature. So if people opt in for that, they will have it. If it was a feature, but not enabled by default because it will break the dynamic menus if you have them. I don't know. Because it has to be cached per page also. It's not that easy.
Yeah, it isn't. I don't know how that module works. By the way, I pasted the relevant issue in the chat window, but probably the chat is not working for me, so I'm not sure if you can see it. Anyway, this will be needed even if we have output cache, because it should also somehow work for authenticated users, and menus can basically hog a complete site.
You will replicate all the features we have in output cache because it has to be based per page. It has to be different per whatever, like the output cache. Yes, it has to be different per page. Yes.
Not really. So it would be a really much lower level caching, just specifically for menus.
Then the menu itself maybe could cache some stuff when it's loading it, and there is no variable or variation on each load. Like when it says, "Oh, load all the custom links," it could say, "Okay, I already know what the custom links are."
Yeah, regarding the navigation caching, so the real performance hit is because there are lots of selects happening. So it's actually, but by making one request for all the menu items, so it will happen in one query. That will be enough, I think. We don't need
if you just use look at custom links, that should be the case.
Yes, that's the case. They should come to if you use anything else, especially content item links. So how is it called? Because then there's a subsequent select for each of the content items.
Yeah.
You could do some prefetching.
This is why we should also deprecate the menu part to prevent that. Or optimize the current path for, by prefetching maybe also.
Yeah, we would still have some issues because there are taxonomy menu items, projections, so this would still have the same issue.
Caching is hard. Caching menus is even harder. And having two layers of cache, it's so. I don't want to include it in core right now. There's too many things to think about. And
anyway, we will take a look at menu performance because with our customers, we always see that's an issue. And always the first advice is use custom links, and we don't have anything.
Yeah, that's a good plan to first look at how we can improve the raw perf of that with just code changes.
Yes.
Good. Layout canvas improvements, default layout data initialization.
Yeah, per content type, you can configure a default layout JSON string. So that, for example, for the form content type, when you now create a new form content item, you'll start out with a form element and a submit button.
Okay. Migrations. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I also had to do in the SpecFlow test to create a default page.
Yeah.
Let's create a Hello World page. Merges. This one for Azure Storage. And this one I learned from Keegan Maher. This is same thing, but here to fix from Chanteri Keshisham to fix the SSL containing the ports inside. Deprecating the lazy field, I think from Zoltan. I have a question for you, Zoltan. While I was working on the contributions, I was wondering if you want me to mention Lombic or Zoltan plus Benedek.
Yes, that's a good question. By the way, I didn't deprecate the lazy field. This was work done by somebody else. We had this discussion.
From yes, this guy the name I tried to pronounce, and I found that the Codeplex link was wrong. This is this guy. Sorry. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So actually, it would be better as Lombik because not just Benedek and me are writing patches now. There are a few guys in our team who are working on Orchard itself.
Okay.
So
because sometimes there was just, in the commits there were just your names and sometimes Lombik, so I didn't know if I should include Lombik instead. So please provide me. I think you already did maybe in the previous release. I will just point to yours. To the same user account for Lombik. I will update that.
I will do. Thanks.
Or you can update that if you want, and I will take it to my notes. Where was I? Here. So Jeff pull request to fix the blog post counts. Sipke on the forms. This one fixing in Sipke's modules the links to MVC. It's not that important because actually the redirect binding will do the work also, but that's good. What is okay? Niklas who merged this thing. Okay, this so you remember that Keys provided a fix to make all the framework and core references plus Hibernate and AutoFac and everything private, so that whenever we compile, they are not copied everywhere in every module. Sipke found out that the Razor IntelliSense was broken by this change. Okay, you confirm, Sipke?
Actually, yeah, I found out, and someone else found out too, and he actually raised an issue on GitHub. Mm-hmm.
And then, is your fix with the init helper fixing this issue?
Well, no, that's something separate. But this fixes IntelliSense in Visual Studio, which is important.
So,
because even though you wouldn't get runtime errors, but when editing a Razor file where copy local is set to false on Orchard.framework, for some reason IntelliSense would be broken, and I think because the Razor IntelliSense system doesn't know what the base view class would be, or it assumes the default one, but doesn't have the.
So the references are still private false, or true? I don't know. They are still not copied.
Yeah, well, I found some projects that were still set to true instead of false, so I changed that as well as part of this commit. But it's really about the web.config file changes.
Okay, so you changed the web config and now it's working again.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
and we don't have the libraries copied all over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And I don't think you have changed the templates for the project, though.
That's a separate pull request which I merged in.
Okay, good then. Thank you. Okay, this one.
I think that's the one.
It's not the same change. You see assembly here, and here there is the culture well.
Yeah, he added that.
We can clean it.
You don't have to, but
yep.
Maybe better to have it.
So if we don't have to, let's remove it.
Okay.
But we still have his contribution as a merge, so that's good. Media library breadcrumbs. Then, okay.
Yeah, there was a small inconsistency there. So if you would import media, then you would have a breadcrumbs with a clickable link. First breadcrumb would be clickable, but if you create a folder, that first path section would not be clickable, or vice versa.
Okay, so let's do the demos now. Jasmine, do you want to start? We asked on Thursday Jasmine to show the auto route localization because he made a pull request, and we wanted to see it working before accepting it and merging it to now 1.x. So if you want to share, just click on the share button. Maybe I need to stop sharing first, which is done.
Can you hear me?
Yes. But if you're not saying anything, we can't hear you.
It's going to be pretty simple. I already did some content items for displaying how it works. So,
are you sharing?
Okay, do you see it?
No.
No? Share. For some reason, I can't click on this button where it says share your screen. Screen is currently being shared.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
Can
see.
Okay, so it's just me then. So Benedict, can you see?
No, I can't see anything.
Oh, try now.
Try what?
Jasmine, try to share your screen now. It should be. I just clicked on it again, and it should be. You can click on it now.
Yeah, it still says a screen is currently being shared.
So if there is a little pop-up bar at the bottom, which is a Chrome window, close it and start again. Okay, I can see the pop-up actually.
Can see it now?
Almost.
Have you got the thing come through saying share?
Yeah.
I can see.
It says you are sharing your screen.
And then it says the broadcaster has stopped sharing their screen.
Yes.
Okay, let's do with Sipke first. Maybe it will unblock everything and we'll try after. Sipke?
Yes.
Thank you.
Actually, before we start the demo, I had a question. Yeah, so we just talked about using Lombic, so that's the company name for commits, but I thought we decided to use only person name, so I'm confused.
Maybe, sorry then. Maybe we asked the question and, okay, maybe that's possible. That's possible. I can think about it's okay. So let's take it offline. I will look back at the meeting notes and maybe we have decided not to accept contributions from companies.
Okay.
Maybe. Maybe you're right. Lombic, are you trying to cheat with me?
No.
Okay, we'll see. I think we already talked about it. Let's see. Okay, offline. Thank you, Sipke. Let's fire Zoltan from the steering committee.
So I cannot share the screen because currently a screen is being shared.
Interesting. Not mine.
Which has been ended, so now I can share.
It made the same thing.
Entire screen share.
Maybe that's all because of me.
Preparing to broadcasting your screen.
I see the 4 little dots.
Nothing's showing up here.
Share ended. Interesting. So, thank you, Uber Conference. I will try to reconnect. Maybe it's because of me. I don't know. I'm refreshing the page just to see.
So I'll try and share my screen.
sharing again.
It's me. I'm going to reconnect.
I can share my screen. It tells me which screen I want to share.
Me too. But you guys aren't seeing my screen? Even though Uber Conference is telling me that I am sharing my screen? No?
No. Shall I try and share mine and see if we get the same issue?
Sure.
I'm back. Something weird. I reconnected and it came up for a brief second saying your screen was being shared, but then it said it stopped.
I just stopped sharing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why. I can see your screen, Nick, and it's still there. So let's try. And now it stopped.
Ooh.
Yeah, now it stopped.
I will ask for a refund. Unacceptable.
That's not cool.
And then I can. And Sipke is sharing now.
No, I don't get Sipke's. I don't get anyone else's apart from yours, Sebastian.
Maybe it's actually clever. I don't know.
So Sebastian,
I can see Sipke. I can see you.
Okay.
Hurry up, hurry up.
I can see yours now, Sipke.
Okay.
Oh, stop. Now it's done.
Okay. So this is a short demo. It's about what is that?
Sorry, I still can't see it, but let me reconnect to Uber Conference, okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll wait.
Okay.
No, there is no screen sharing. I can try to share my...
Okay.
We'll see. I have nothing to share, actually.
What was did you talk about the roadmap last week? And what you
yes, we can talk about it. Thank you, Nick. I knew you would be useful. So GitHub, it's not this one. It's Orchard. I'm lost now. Orchard Complex. It's on the documentation. No, it's. Oh, I'm really lost. Orchardproject.net, documentation and roadmap. Feature roadmap. So I will edit this file.
Try and just share your screen, Sebastian, so that we can paste.
I'm sharing.
Oh, you are already, are you?
Yeah, and it works beautifully now, isn't it? Can you all see? Orchard 1.10. So this is done. The release is expected. So the release is expected to be released. The release is expected for May. So let's say 1 year. Last time we took 1 year, so that's beautiful. Boom. So priorities. So suggested features. Improved workflow module. OWIN identity providers. JavaScript integration. And we can explain what the point is here. So OWIN identity provider, yes, like both, blah, 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 AD, and so on. Because we have OWIN support now. Thanks everyone, Nick and Zoltan, and myself too, by the way. We can use those filters, JavaScript integration. So yeah, the idea between with that better. Yeah, the idea between JavaScript integration will be to use it for rules engine and script activity. So
I'll take care of this.
Thank you. Okay. And yes, we need to use Gint for sure. So what did you mention, Nick, also? Or didn't you mention anything? Oh, deployment feature. Okay, the one that Bertrand has been working on. This should be part of the next one. And when you want Bertrand to do a demo of the current state,
yeah,
and
we were talking about that with George. We'll demo next week.
Okay, great. And because I know me, deployment feature. What else? We have lots of ideas, guys. Go.
Admin theme. New admin theme.
New admin theme?
Yes.
Updated admin theme?
I would go for complete rewrite, but
yeah.
Oh, you are crazy.
Yes, but crazy people get things done in this world.
Not often. No. The crazy ideas might get done. The crazy, new admin theme. Yes, there is a dashboard. Maybe it's related to that. Maybe it's just part of it. Maybe we can talk about it. Maybe, we can talk about it. New admin theme. What else?
New base theme. We've been talking about it for quite a while.
Okay. New base theme. Oh, by the way, we can also look at what areas of focus for future iterations. Look at that. We don't have to go further. We have lots of ideas here. REST APIs with design notes, deployment modules. We have design notes too. We should follow them. I hope so. So REST APIs. Okay, I put that there. I think it's also important. And as usual, it's just brainstorming. We will define the priorities, and priorities will be also defined based on goodwill, meaning whoever does something wins. Even if we say, oh, this is more important than that. Yes, but if you do that, then it wins. So localization improvements, those things have been added by Nick. Maybe there are some more stuff to do, but it's already beautiful. Multiple templates for PG, that now with dynamic. I will remove that, okay?
Thank you.
SEO, admin UI improvements, dashboard notification email, improve admin theme, blah, blah, blah. So Daniel said that. Profiles, themes, performance. Something we could do, Daniel, you will find it interesting, I'm sure, I hope, is refactor the cache module.
Which one?
As an OWIN middleware.
You're talking about output cache?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one? Oh,
there are multiple caching modules, so I wasn't sure.
Analytics. This one is interesting. At some point, we need something like this. Even more if we have a dashboard where we can plug widgets inside.
Hey, speaking of the output cache, I also have some ideas about making it much more extensible. So modules can contribute much more to how the cache keys get varied and so forth within a request.
Okay.
What about an alpha release of brochures?
What?
What about like a release of brochures on here?
On this list? No, that's different. We can know.
So, but how about a native PowerShell support? So instead of this old exec, so let's make something PowerShell.
I don't know. I have to raise a vote because I don't care about PowerShell. I don't understand that. But I'm using it. I'm telling you, every day I'm using it, but I can't get my mind out on PowerShell. So I'm not. I'm not too convinced because I'm already convinced I don't need that. But if the 4 other votes are for, why not?
So how would that work? What would it be? What would it replace?
Currently we have those just the CLI, the Ultra exec, but I guess it's writing your own PowerShell provider with some custom commandlets and allowing modules to provide commandlets. Well, it's much more flexible as PowerShell. It's a whole scripting environment, so it's for management purposes.
Wouldn't it be problematic to do that because there needs
it's already
to be...
done, actually. That's why I'm
really? So, but doesn't there have to be a process running while the commandlets are executed? Or would they all just load up a new instance of Orchard just to carry out the work of one commandlet, or how would?
This, I guess it's a discussion for a whole meeting. So, but basically, it works similar to what is now, but there is a PowerShell pipeline under the hood through which everything is patched through, and so. We've already created it, and so the whole PowerShell processing engine is there inside Orchard as a first-class component.
So I see two options: either it's a separate thing than the current CLI, or it's replacing it. If it's replacing, we will lose so many users because people like me who don't understand PowerShell will be.
But you don't have to use PowerShell. We can still have the exe file, like orchard.exe.
Okay, so it will be great.
Sorry.
So it will be a different feature. The orchard.exe will still be there.
Yes, it's still a command line, right? But you have access to, instead of just you can, for example, run a whole script that contains Orchard commands.
We saw the demos. I don't question what you can do with. I'm questioning is it meaningful inside Orchard core, and how many people will we impact with that? Do we need to
at least some of the core things are, I guess, would be good to have. Maybe not, all the possible commandlets or something, but just an infrastructure for it.
To the list for discussing. Any other ideas?
Yeah, what about Lombik's work regarding Orchard automation?
Yeah, same thing. Because I was thinking about it because if you had a PowerShell, then it would say, hey, my stuff too.
Sorry, what do you mean? The Orchard Exhaust?
Yeah, the Orchard framework you have, the console framework, and...
Actually, it doesn't need anything to be integrated. I mean, we could add it to the core, but it's just fine outside the core as well. So it uses Orchard extension points and overrides some settings, some services as intended. So it's not like the PowerShell implementation by Piotr. It doesn't need any change.
So I'm sure we're missing big, interesting ideas here.
Signalar.
Signalar is done.
So and good that it was me who mentioned it.
No. Signalar itself is no. You can think about any module which will make use of Signalar. Okay, but Signalar, it's not like, let's put another technology inside. No, it's like there is no such thing as a Signalar module. Find the usage of Signalar and propose the module, and I don't care that it's using Signalar or not. So what else?
If we could, I guess it's part of the admin theme work, but if we could revamp the way that the media library UI works, because it's kind of clunky in many cases now.
Now we mean media library. Well, clunky. Have you used the dynamic layout module when you talk about clunky?
Yeah, that's sort of the scenario
button,
where it gets the worst.
Yeah, but I think it's related, the media library and the dynamic forms, how to provide kind of not a framework, but a way to create dynamic UIs like this and pop-ups.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a generic thing. We end up in having iframes and iframes and iframes right now, and it just doesn't create a good experience.
That's good.
I've got a big picture. What about the, like how WordPress does the upgrading of its components?
Yes, this kind of ideas. So automatic upgrade.
Yes.
Well, upgrades. I've already suggested something. Nobody has tried it. So let's see. it should be as simple as creating a NuGet package and saying, oh, please download this NuGet package. You can do that. And in ASP.NET, a process can upgrade itself because ASP.NET is actually running on a shadow copy, another copy of the website you have in the ASP.NET folder, which means you can update all the files in the current folder, and then on the restart, it will use this one. So it should be as
talking
simple.
About NuGet, should we talk about galleries? A new gallery?
Say that. Damn you, Sipka.
Yeah, but that's not about maybe. Yeah, I can write it, but this is then you can say gallery website. Mm-hmm. This is a separate project, yeah. But we definitely need to do that before July 15, because the certificate is out of date. Mm-hmm. And changing it will be a pain. Gallery website, and by the way, Get is being a new gallery, so maybe we could even use that if you want to do something based on that. I had other ideas, but yeah.
Yeah, with integration with GitHub, maybe.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, this. Well, we already talked about it. You know what I want here. GitHub or whatever source. Okay.
Should we mention widget improvements, widget UI?
Yes, why not?
Where it's more
widgets
visual
improvements.
What does that mean?
That means having something like the layout editor for the widgets, drag and drop widgets into a layer. And be able
to zones.
And like Photoshop, you check the layers like we have today, and you will see all the widgets in their zones layouted. It would be nice. Which will be very easy with what you have done already. Okay, that's a good list. Then we'll see, these are just IDs, suggested features. Then we can see what progress is done on each feature, and how to integrate them. But there is lots of work still.
Yeah, maybe as a sub-item of the new admin theme should be dashboards, where you can customize your dashboard. You briefly mentioned it. Maybe it's good too. Yeah.
This new the new admin theme, if we get around to making one, I think by definition it would be like a massively breaking thing. It would break every module that has any admin UI.
Unless,
personally, I consider that a good thing. Well, not a good thing, but it's worth a trade-off. How do you guys feel about like starting over, basically?
No, well, we can think about upgrading the admin theme without breaking things. This is what Antoine and other guy did based on Bootstrap. This is one way. Another way is to break it and make it Angular, but this will not be a 1 dot something. It can't be a 1 dot something. This will be a 2 something.
Okay.
And this is what you have in mind. So
if we're striving for backward compatibility, then that's not enough to motivate me to work on this. But
it's still a good point, though, to be able to upgrade it to a Bootstrap theme with what Antoine and the other one did. So it's not for you, but
it's just if you consider all of the things that, because all modules that display some kind of admin UI, they're deeply dependent on every single CSS class that we define in the current style sheet. We have to retain them, basically. Mm-hmm. And that almost allows for no changes. Like all you can do is maintain the existing structure and redefine the properties of each class or selector that we have.
Yep.
But almost nothing else you can do, which is kind of limiting. Like there's only so much you can do within that constraint.
An admin theme is also interested interesting if it's constrained, because we don't want to allow too much initiative like you did.
I don't understand.
I mean,
Yeah, it
for
should
the
be
user,
uniform instead of having all
user,
sorts of
it
different
has to be
UIs.
consistent for the user and for the developer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I agree. It should be a kind of a framework on admin theme, and that's why we need CSS and we need them to be everywhere. And at the same time, I think we can improve what we have today without breaking anything by having other CSSs, but still being compatible with what we have today, like the re-implementing the current classes with the new theme. That's
maybe we could think about a shim layer, like a CSS shim.
It worked with Bootstrap. Antoine has that, and what's the name of the other guy who started the project? Antoine, do you remember? And they showed us something. It was already interesting, and there is a GitHub project for that, if not a branch.
So maybe we could have it in such a way that modules can opt into the old CSS framework, and if any module needs it, then we load it. Otherwise, no. And then we could still...
It's not even about loading, because the CSS was changed so that the old classes would still work.
Yeah, but we should keep that stuff in like a separate compatibility layer if we do it.
Separate.
And whatever we build anew, we should create a new CSS structure that makes sense for what we're trying to style. And then if we want modules to be able to use all the old CSS classes, we should provide that in a separate CSS that's kind of a compatibility or a shim layer on top of the new stuff that we build.
Yeah.
Daniel, can you share some examples? Because with classes like hint or text medium, it should just work as it is today. What could break here, or what are good candidates for having a compatibility pack instead of a new version?
Yeah, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a good example. It's a reflection I've made though several times when I've looked through it, and as we've built modules that make use of the admin CSS, it's just an impression that I've taken away from it. But I can look through it again and kind of try to come up with some concrete examples we could discuss around, maybe.
By the way, it was me that did this.
Me.
The bootstrap.
Who
Jasmin.
is me? Jasmin. Thank you.
But it was needing to break a lot of modules, and you needed to add some things in the views too.
Speaking about the admin theme, the first thing that comes to my mind is finally to add an ability to change the admin theme, like we have it with frontend once, because it's supported.
It could just be a CSS.
Well, no. But then wouldn't every module have to provide?
We can't really just need a CSS on top of the other, because we need to change the HTML.
No, I mean
elements.
Piotr was mentioning to be able to switch dynamically the admin theme.
Yeah, because this is something that could be easily done, because
that's what I did basically, but I need to override all the views. And when someone does a change on one module, I need to merge those changes also in the new Bootstrap theme.
Unless it's the default and everyone is based on that.
Yeah, I don't really see the scenario for having multiple admin themes, if that's what we're talking about. Because then every module needs to build for all of them, right? They have to provide their shape templates.
Yes, so I'm saying it could, a dynamic admin theme could just be a dynamic CSS, if it was. Mm-hmm.
So related to this, maybe having a tabbed UI where you can divide your content edit page into tabs. We discussed this before.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so instead of having a long list of inputs on an edit page, maybe we should be able to use placement of info to assign certain shapes to tabs.
tabs. Oh yes, okay, and we have it. Philip worked on that. And actually, it's already implemented. Yes, the code supports that. The dash in the placement will point to a specific tab. It's just try that, you will see. Look for the placement. I implemented the support for that.
Is it in a feature branch or a
no, it's in core. It's already
there.
Oh,
it's actually.
You just need the view to use this information to render in the tab.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it should be pretty easy. Because it's just a matter of divs and just showing the correct divs. Everything will be rendered at the same time, but just about showing it with a jQuery. Whatever. Should be easy. Okay, let's stop on that. Lots of things to think about. Let's see how it goes. Everything you do, you still do it in feature branches, so we can kill them. Or manage them.
If you should want to arrange like a separate meeting on one of these topics,
yes.
How should you invite people
and?
Starting maybe a discussion.
So last time we did that, we used a Thursday half an hour.
Mm-hmm. You mean the triage time?
Yes, but rated. So because we want it public, or we can also arrange with me or without me private meetings to actually brainstorm all the ideas and at least have an agreement among 2 or 3 people about all the issues and the solutions, so that when we discuss it publicly, we have already thought about most of the ideas and we just have to explain what are the pros and cons, and we can publicly decide which one we want to take.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds good. So start with a group of core people and then expand.
Yep. Good. Thanks, everyone.
So someone, Gustavo, he also mentions Orchard as an identity provider. OAuth, he mentions.
Okay.
I actually like that.
That should not be that hard to do with a custom feature in either the user module or not. Could be part of the work to integrate the OWIN filters and provide one which will do the provider part.
Right.
And then you could even be the provider for another provider, like, you have the crazy thing.
Yeah, so you serve yourself, your Orchard site becomes an OAuth provider.
Yes.
Identity provider, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. See you on Thursday. And
see you later, guys.
Please try the new release. If no ship blocker, I will mark them as public tomorrow. Okay?
Cool.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cool. See you guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.